The other bit of breaking news we brought you in the last section was that Prince Harry will attend the King's coronation, but the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, will not. Let's get a word on this. Rupert Bell, Talk Radio's royal editor, is with us. Good afternoon to you, Rupert.
Good afternoon, Ian.
Nice to have you with us. Did this surprise you, this? I mean, I always thought Harry would come, but I kind of half assumed that she would as well.
No, it's not a total surprise. The reason being, I think, sort of reading the room, is that they obviously think that Meghan, her PR in this country is not great. Apologies from where I'm talking to you, is absolutely howling it down. So you may be hearing the rain here at Aintree Racecourse, where I'm here for the weekend, for the Grand National. So apologies for that. But and that's maybe another reason why Meghan decided not to come over for the British weather. Yeah. But on a more serious note, I think Harry knows, and you can always use the excuse, it's Archie's birthday that weekend, so maybe they feel they want to be there, but that just feels a bit of an excuse. But I do think that the way they are now perceived in this country isn't with universal popularity, and I think it just takes some of the heat out of it, because clearly there is a bit of bad blood between her and other members of the royal family, and Harry feels that he should be there for his father, but this is probably the best way and the most the way to appease all parties, as it were, is that he's there, but actually can just sort of quietly get on with it without all the focus necessarily being on his wife, who will, of course, have her every move scrutinised throughout the weekend.
How important is this for Harry rebuilding his own image in this country? I mean, is that significant? Would that have been a factor, do you think?
He's got to try and restore the trust between... I think it's not necessarily with this country. I think it's more the trust between him and his family, which is completely broken down, because they don't trust sending him anything. The next minute it'll appear in some documentary or the Oprah interview or in the book. So that's the thing that needs to happen here, is the restoration of trust between certainly his brother, where there's a real breakdown of relationships, and also his father, who is obviously dismayed with what's been going on, and other members of the family are just frustrated by his behaviour. So they've got to find a way of restoring that family trust, and maybe just coming on his own sometimes is a way just to get the bridges being built ever so slowly, and being at his father's coronation, the most significant event in his life, what he's waited well into his 70s to be crowned king, then his family he wants around him. And obviously Meghan, though, would create probably an extra level of soap opera that perhaps the occasion doesn't need.
And what would the protocol, do you sense, look like, Rupert? Are we going to have Harry turning up in the same car with William? I can't imagine that being the case. Or will he turn up solo, or perhaps with another one of the so-called minor royals?
Because he's a non-working royal, he's in the non-working royal category. Whereas William and Kate, obviously, they will have a very prominent role, and the King and the Prince of Wales will have, and they'll be in one of the coaches after the coronation has happened. So what will actually happen is that Harry will turn up with be put in the non-working royals category, and that includes, of course, Prince Andrew as well, who's another of the complications that they have to deal with throughout the coronation week, and where to place them. But at least now we know, and he's done the decent thing and said once and for all that he's coming over, and then we can get on and now concentrate on the event itself, and not see the event being a continuing soap opera that has been dominating the agenda into the build-up to this occasion for the King.
We will watch with interest. Rupert, as ever, thank you. That's Rupert Bell, Talk Radio's royal editor, with us here.